This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, eco-activists celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Save Manapori campaign. We meet Ingrid Leary, the new candidate for Labour in the Dunedin South seat. And the ANP show season continues. Today we're visiting North Canterbury for the 104th annual Amari ANP show. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. Eco-activists celebrated their 50th anniversary of the Save Manapori campaign on Sunday. United by a common goal in 1970, environmentalists launched a campaign to protect some of Fiordland's most famous landmarks.
About 200 of those who campaigned to save Lake Manapori came together in Te Anau on Sunday to celebrate and remember their eventual victory half a century ago.
And the cars were coming past, and this guy was leaning out of his Jaguar, "Drown Manapuri! Drown Manapuri! Drown crunch!" He hadn't noticed that the cars in front had stopped.
The Save Manapori campaign was launched to stop the raising of the lake level by 27 metres, which was to be part of the hydroelectric power scheme being built to supply electricity to the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter near Bluff. Director General of the Department of Conservation, Lou Sanson, says the campaign was born from people of Southland who did not want a repetition of the lakeshore destruction as had happened from Lake Monowai's power scheme 50 years earlier.
And when Save Manapori campaign was launched in 1970, 250,000 signatures in 8 weeks, that's 10% of New Zealand.
University of Otago botanist Professor Sir Alan Mark says when his campaign used images of the 1926 damage to Lake Monowai's shoreline, the government quickly had the lakeshore cleaned up.
Skeletons from the lake raising, they were used effectively in the campaign to the point where Ministry of Works got in and whipped out the stumps, the trunks down to stump level, at least on the lower half of the lake where you could see it from the end of the road. They left the upper half around the corner untreated. So Fiordland Travel at the time put on special boats to take people around to the upper half of the lake to show just what was left.
Sunday's gathering included the lighting of a candle to recognise those who have since died. Sanson, who was just a young man at the time, says the activists created an enduring legacy for New Zealand.
In the end of the day, we know through what's happened in this hall today with this people, we've created a country where nature is at the heart of our identity. And it's something I feel incredibly proud to lead, and it's something I really want to acknowledge John and Alan and all the others in the room that have helped create it there.
Raising Manapori became a major topic leading up to the 1972 election. When Labour was voted in, the government pledged not to raise lake levels. In Te Anau, the South Today.
The Dunedin City Council could account for over 1,000 staff by the end of this year. In June last year, that number was 974. The draft annual plan includes an extra 27 staff worth almost $5 million. This would raise the total staff expenditure to almost $70 million next year. The council also says it needs to increase rates by another 6.5% to acquire the necessary money to balance the budget. A candidate has been found to replace the Labour Party's long-serving Dunedin South MP, Claire Curran, for this year's general election. Labour chose the former broadcast journalist and lawyer Ingrid Leary over two other candidates.
Dunedin South Member of Parliament Claire Curran announced her departure from politics, creating a vacancy in the seat held by Labour for its entire history. Following a brief and well-mannered battle last month, broadcaster and lawyer Ingrid Leary was selected.
It's unusual for somebody who hasn't lived here very long to come in and be able to get the trust of local people. So I'm very aware of that. I'm very privileged to have their trust.
Although Leary has only lived in Dunedin since late last year, she studied at the University of Otago and has family ties to the city.
I did my honours degree in law here. My dad's family were from here, from Harrow Street.
Leary is a New Zealand Special Service Medal recipient for her coverage from the Indonesian province of Banda Aceh following the earthquake and tsunami in 2004 and 2005. She says working remotely in tragedy zones with people who are struggling to survive taught her a lot about herself and communication.
Where human beings can come together and try and resolve these issues. So these are things like gender equality, climate change, issues around development. So where people can come together and work on these big problems and appreciate their differences, appreciate their common humanity and put aside the differences and the judgment. That's the best way that we know how to do cultural relations.
She says an experience with a local guide in Banda Aceh was a valuable lesson about being a working mother.
And I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself that I was missing my daughter's birthday, and he was very compassionate, and then he shared with me that he'd actually lost his 3 children, his wife and his mother-in-law in the tsunami. And he gave me a hug. I mean, it was just unbelievable, and it was a really defining moment for me.
She's also worked for the British Council as a country director. The 2 unsuccessful Labour candidates were Rachel Brooking, a lawyer specialising in local government and environmental law, and Simon McCallum, a senior lecturer in software engineering. National is yet to announce who will stand for the party in the Dunedin South electorate, but MP and former Government Minister Michael Woodhouse is set to run for the Dunedin North seat again. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A car fire in South Otago this morning is not believed to be suspicious. Emergency services were called to the incident in Stirling about 10:30 a.m. following reports of a well-involved vehicle fire. A witness said the White Sabaru saloon was smoking before flames ignited from beneath its bonnet. Local volunteer firefighters attended the scene quickly before the Balclutha Volunteer Fire Brigade arrived. Officials at the scene said the incident did not appear to involve arson and the cause was likely electrical. The sun shone on Rotherham and North Canterbury for the 104th annual Amari A&P show on Saturday. The show has recently begun to include food stalls featuring dishes created by the region's growing migrant community.
Wood chopping competitions and livestock displays are the standard features of any A&P show, and the Amuri A&P show in Rotherham in North Canterbury was no different on Saturday. However, the last few years have seen the show include a United Flavours of the Amuri food hub, featuring cuisine from India, Philippines and South America.
3 years ago, the President really wanted to sort of integrate our migrant communities with our show and sort of foster those social connections and really get them involved in the day-to-day of the show organising. So that's why we got the food tent set up, and it's really just gone from strength to strength.
Sponsored by local companies and organisations, the public are able to sample exotic flavours for a gold coin donation, with proceeds going to the community, including the Amuri Area School, St John and Red Cross.
Most of the mothers Filipino mothers in our school, Amuri Area School, prepared that one with love, so they are donating it.
Amuri community connector Jess Davidson says she enjoys organising the food hub.
I have to say it's actually a pleasure because it's such a great group of all ladies, but yeah, we have a lot of fun, and it's really cool when you stand back today and you look at everyone sort of interacting and connecting with the communities.
And several of the dishes are definitely a taste of the exotic for many of the public attending the show.
It's not your normal Kiwi cuisine, it's something a little bit different. So, yeah, no, it's very well supported.
This is covered with banana leaves. So this is glutinous rice with coconut pulp and coconut cream. So we put it in a charcoal and then cook it. And so when you eat it, you have to open it, and then that's the coconut, that's the glutinous rice already. There.
Look at that. In Amuri, the South Today.
Still to come on the South today. Dunedin inner city blocks make way for the new hospital, and we have the backstory of why a Dunedin woman living in the UK has shaved her head for a Dunedin charity. See you after the break.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hasn't been much of a summer, has it? Until now. It's hot, it's getting warm, it's great. This is the time of year we love this weather. So we have a lot of surplus stock and we want to clear it at real hot prices. 50% off anything that's short sleeve. T-shirts, short sleeve shirts, polos, and everything short sleeve, half price.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, get them while it's hot.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life. Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
No mai nor, welcome back. 2 inner city blocks in Dunedin will soon be reduced to 50,000 tonnes of rubble. The demolition will make way for the new Dunedin hospital. Footpaths have been closed and scaffolding has gone up around the old Cadbury warehouse site in Dunedin ahead of the building's demolition. Christchurch construction and demolition firm Ceres is the main demolition contractor, and the company's operations manager expects around 40 demolition workers will be on the site at the peak of the job. A Dunedin woman living in England and studying at Oxford University has shaved her head raising funds for a Dunedin organisation. Jane Belchan says she's pleased she can still support the Life Matters charity from the other side of the world.
Dunedin woman Jean Belchan, who's currently a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford University, gets ready to have her head shaved, all for a good cause.
I did this to raise awareness about the significant problem we have concerning the suicide of so many people in New Zealand, particularly young people, particularly young men, particularly our young Māori men as well. And this is a problem I think needs to be addressed to a larger scale in New Zealand.
Her friends took turns hacking off swathes of her hair over a half-hour period, during which she laughs and jokes with her supporters. However, her reason for raising money for Life Matters is a deeply personal one.
I also did it in loving memory of my dear brother John, who took his own life 5 years ago.
Dunedin's Life Matters provides support for people who are affected by suicide of family members or who may themselves be experiencing suicidal thoughts. The Hope Centre's manager, Corinda Taylor, says that Jean Belchin's fundraising means so much to the organisation.
It's really brave of Jean to have done that. Not many people would be able to do that. But because Jean is so beautiful inside or outside, with or without hair, it makes no difference to us. She's doing a very worthwhile thing to raise funds for us and to help other people.
Belchin opened the Give a Little page to raise funds for Life Matters by shaving her head in January this year, and it's set to close this month. Corinda Taylor says the more than $2,000 the event raised will go towards providing subsidised counselling for people.
Yeah, so that original target that she set of $1,000 has just way exceeded all our expectations. We just looked earlier on, $2,367 were donated. There were 61 donors and the average donation was about $38 per person, which is fantastic.
Taylor says if you or someone you know is having mental health difficulties, please reach out by texting 1737, talking with friends, and if you see friends you think are having issues, reach out to support them. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Nearly 9,000 Kiwis or New Zealand households have quarantined themselves due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The country's Director General of Health, Ashley Bloomfield, says as of yesterday there are 5 confirmed cases and 2 more probable. One of those 2 probable cases has returned home from North Shore Hospital. There are 47 cases classified as under investigation. 281 cases have so far tested negative for the virus. No cases outside of the North Island have been confirmed. It is also understood more than 200 New Zealanders are in Italy, which will soon enter a nationwide lockdown in response to the outbreak. After the break on the South Today, a wine grower's whining about the South's poor summer, and we have the latest autumn weather for you. See you soon.
Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual and the most extraordinary on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Hasn't been much of a summer, has it? Until now. It's hot, it's getting warm, it's great. This is the time of year we love this weather. So we have a lot of surplus stock and we want to clear it at real hot prices. 50% off anything that's short sleeve. T-shirts, short sleeve shirts, polos, and everything short sleeve, half price.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, get them while it's hot.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Thanks for staying with us. Wine growers in central Otago still hope they can toast this year's crop despite a cooler summer. Harvesting of sparkling wine varieties began only yesterday, and the late start was the weather's fault. Pinot Noir varieties may not be harvested for another 2 weeks. Wine grower James Dicey says the cooler than usual summer put harvests about 2 weeks behind. Dicey says he believes cooler conditions produce among the best vintages. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Eco-activists have celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Save Manapori campaign after their protests saved the landmark. Ingrid Leary has been named as the new candidate for Labour in the Dunedin South seat as Claire Curran leaves the political arena. And the ANP show season continues. Today we visited North Canterbury for the 104th annual Amari ANP show, where the weather was hot. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Hayden Meikle. Kia ora, Hayden.
Good evening, Simon. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. It's going to be a busy evening, I think. It's a big newspaper tomorrow, lots to get through, so let's get started. Our lead story is a big story. The Otago Regional Council is looking at privatising its operations at Port Otago. It's been on the table for a little while, but now there are some specific options on the table. It's a big story, it's a complex story, but our man Hamish McLean will be making sense of that for our readers tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting. And we've got a lot of reaction to this story out of North Otago, Gliding Amarama, confirming today it's closing, shut. It's battle with civil aviation. It's saying it's forcing it to close. 21 jobs gone, I think. It's a huge, going to have a huge impact on Omarama, that really vibrant part of the province. You know, and Gliding's been a huge part of that. The events that they host, and Richie McCaw, of course, adds a bit of star power to it. So some really interesting reaction coming through on that. Lovely photo, I think, for the front page on the Lawrence Fire Brigade. It's got with the times, good old Lawrence. It's got its first female chief in 127 years, so that's not bad. It's a great yarn with the woman who's in that role, and a really nice photo, so that's really good. Quirky wee story, hand sanitizer, as we all know. Hand sanitizer is becoming a bit like toilet paper at the moment. It's worth its weight in gold. Actually, they believe it's been stolen from Dunedin Hospital and other SDHB facilities. That's the extent we've got to as a society, Simon. People are stealing hand sanitizer. And in sport, a couple of interesting yarns. The Highlanders are looking a little bit shaky, as we know, and Aaron Smith and Liam Coltman are coming home. They're on a rest week, so they won't be playing the Jaguares. And a potentially sad story, Hugo Inglis, a very talented hockey player from these parts, talking about his injury struggles and the fact that he might actually have to quit international hockey. So heaps and heaps of interesting stories in tomorrow's paper, Simon.
Great, Hayden. Thank you. Now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view taken this morning of Greg's Coffee Factory in full production mode adding to the city's aroma. Now looking at the situation, the cold southwesterly airflow will ease during the day tomorrow. The clearing skies in most inland places. Cloud on the east, on the Otago coast may remain. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at grey skies, rain and 14 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect a cloud or two, rain, and it's 18 degrees for you. Moving down to Canterbury, Kaikoura can expect cloud and 15 degrees. Christchurch should prepare for grey skies and 14, while in Ashburton you can expect cloudy skies, rain and 13 degrees. To the southern towns, it's almost a game of two halves in this area. The Catlins and Balclutha are looking at grey, Catlins 13 and Balclutha 14. Lumsden and Gore are both due for mostly fine skies and 14 degrees. Heading to central Otago, the weather should improve across this area as well. Queenstown, Alexandra and Te Anau are all due for light southwesterlies, becoming fine and 14 degrees. Wanaka, you have mostly blue sky and should reach 15 degrees. To the northern towns, on the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are due to have light southwesterlies and cloudy skies, 14 for Timaru and 13 for Oamaru. Slightly better inland, Twizel and Marama are due for light southwesterlies, becoming fine and 15 degrees. In Dunedin, showers clearing tonight with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Overcast and cold tomorrow with moderate southwesterlies slowly dying out, a high of 12 and a low of 8. Fine on Thursday with sunny periods and some cloud, still rather cool and light winds tending northeast, a high of 13 and a low of 10. And in Invercargill, showers clearing tonight with an overnight low of 8 degrees. Becoming fine and sunny during the day tomorrow with cold southerly winds dying out, a high of 13 and a low of 4. Fine and sunny on Thursday with light winds, a high of 15 and a low of 7 degrees. That's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.